Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Following on from my last video, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to talk you through my top 5 tips for working from home. Now these are things I have been doing for the past year and are things I'm definitely going to be doing over the next few months to re-strategize my business and regrow it. However much I'd love to lounge around all day and use these months as kind of a summer holiday, I feel like that is just not going to get me anywhere. So I'm going to be putting in a solid work from home routine that will put me steps ahead over the next few months. So for a lot of you, working from home will be completely new and you probably were thinking, oh my god, this is such a dream, so amazing, and then a week in you realise actually it's a lot harder than you think. I, however, have been working from home for over the past year, so I have it pretty figured out and I would like to share with you my top tips. Now, first things first, the one thing I would suggest doing is creating a morning routine that you can stick to and start your day on your terms. By putting the right steps in the morning will set you up for the day ahead and will ensure you get all your tasks done and you'll be as productive, motivated and ready as possible. Now I actually begin my routine the night before, which brings me on to my second point, which is create a to-do list. I create my to-do list the night before and I tend to write everything down in my perfectly planned calendar. Now this is a month by month, day by day calendar which has a to-do list and you just tick things off as you go along. So like I said, I do that the night before, which really helps clear my mind, as I often find I have a lot of things on my mind and things I'm trying to remember, whereas when I write them down it just makes me feel much less stressed and ensures I get my work done. It really motivates me when I get to tick things off my to-do list. Like, it's the little things like that that make my day so much better. I tend to revisit my to-do list the next morning once more emails have come through and then prioritise based on that. On the topic of routine, I would also factor into your routine setting up a certain workspace where you know every day that is where you're going to sit and complete all your work, preferably somewhere with a door which you can close so that you can kind of block out any distractions, family members that are perhaps not working at the moment, or if you have dogs that are a huge distraction like I do, you know, closing a door sometimes helps, although they do still tend to somehow find their way in, and sitting on my knee on a regular basis. My third point, which is probably the most crucial for working from home and something I would strongly advise doing, is time blocking your day. It may seem like the most ideal thing to do is to freestyle your day. However, I can assure you, you will not get your work done, you will not be productive, and actually you'll end up working past your working hours. By time blocking your day and allocating a certain amount of time to each task will make you feel so much more productive. Don't forget though to also time block your breaks. I tend to take a break every 1 to 2 tasks, which is kind of a little reward to myself, but regular breaks are essential for creativity and to stay focused. Now, because working from home is completely new for a lot of people and for a lot of bosses, I think this point is highly beneficial for people who aren't used to kind of this structure at the moment. However, it is so important to stay in touch with your bosses and your work colleagues and to be proactive with that, you know, asking questions, asking if you can help with anything whilst maybe you're a bit quiet at the moment. A lot of bosses are probably questioning right now if their employees are actually doing work. So just by putting these steps in place will prove that you are. And it is also essential to be really responsive to emails, which is an obvious point again, but something people may forget whilst Netflix and working. On this topic, I'd also like to highlight the importance of practicing any video or conference calls because they are a lot harder than you think. Obviously, a lot of people are using apps like Zoom at the moment and things like that to connect with colleagues and clients. However, a few things to note before you get onto a conference call is your surroundings. Make sure there's nothing in viewpoint that you don't want people to see. Make sure you look professional, ready, you've not just rolled out of bed, and that you actually put some effort into the meeting. This also might seem like a really obvious point, but there are certain areas I know in my house where my internet will just cut off at any minute, which is obviously highly embarrassing for a conference call. So just make sure wherever you set up, you have a good internet. Now, my final point, which I think a lot of people may not be doing at the moment because we have obviously been put onto a lockdown. You've been told to stay at home. Doesn't mean that you have to sit at your desk all day and lie on your sofa all night. I make sure that I factor in some designated time to working out. If it's safe to do so, go on a walk. I mean, where I live, I can go on a walk and not see anyone, and I also have 2 dogs that make me leave the house. However, obviously only do this if it's safe to do so. Otherwise, there are plenty of at-home workouts you can do. For me, I love doing the Holly Dolke workouts. They're absolutely amazing. She's super inspirational and motivational, and they're literally 10 to 15 minutes long, so you can just do them easy, no excuses. I'm definitely not a 6 a.m. riser or workout kind of person. However, I do like to do my workouts in the morning so that it kind of preps me for the day, sets me up, and that it helps me eat healthy as well. Obviously, working from home, you have unlimited access to the fridge. You can just go downstairs, eat however much you want. Obviously, that is not ideal. We don't want to all be gaining weight during this lockdown. So working out will set you up in the right frame of mind to not eat unhealthy all day, every day. Now, whilst there are so many more points that I could discuss with you and things that I have found out over the year myself with working from home, I wanted to try and keep this video as short as possible. But if you do have any questions or would like to tell me what you're doing at the moment whilst you're working from home, please do subscribe and leave me a comment below. I do hope you have found this insightful and my top tips have been helpful for you. So please do subscribe, and I really do look forward to hopefully seeing you in my next video.